Okay guys, this is going to be just a very quick little video where I want to show you how to build a clutch slave cylinder. What you can see here is the clutch slave cylinder itself. How it works is pretty simple. The clutch fluid goes to these hoses, as you can see. Just move it up for you. So there are two hoses and they are connected to the slave cylinder. So when you push the clutch pedal, the liquid is moved and this little thing goes up and down, engaging and disengaging your clutch. So it works fairly simple. Now in order to rebuild this, to disassemble it, there's no need to remove it from this bracket assembly thingy, because these two things, in my case, these two hoses were very hard to disconnect. I couldn't do it and I didn't want to risk breaking anything, so I left it on. But you can remove yours if you want, but you can also do the full rebuild without having to remove this. So the first step is of course to get rid of the rubber boot. Now this gets off very easily. You just have to okay, not that easily. There you go. Comes off. I'm going to turn it so you can see what's inside. See? Inside is basically a little piston that, once the fluid goes up and down, moves this little push rod, if you will. And the rod, as I already said, engages and disengages your clutch. Now, as you can see, there's no way to get this out like this. So there's a very simple trick to get it out. All you need is a bit of compressed air. See? And you need to, let me just zoom out. Sorry. I'll show you what's going to happen. You need to get the gun, the air gun, into the hose. You can see, and just apply a bit of compressed air, and there you go. The piston and the spring is just going to pop out. As you can see, basically the clutch slave cylinder is now just a container, or a cylinder as the name implies. It's empty. Now the next step is to get your rebuild kit and change this piston and these O-rings and the spring, as well as the boot. Okay, here we are with the rebuild kit. As you can see, the rebuild kit consists of the rubber boot, the spring, and the little piston thing, which are pretty much all the parts you need to rebuild your clutch slave cylinder. This particular kit is for my 1987 Toyota MR2, but I think it fits on at least a dozen more Toyota vehicles. It's not expensive, it costs around $20. And now the thing is, if you have a newer model of a car, recently cars have started getting this as a single unit, like a plastic unit, which you cannot rebuild. Once it breaks down, you have to replace the whole thing. OEM, they usually cost $100. As I already said, this is OEM, $20, so sometimes it's better to have old bits than new ones. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean the inside of the cylinder. For that I'm using some denatured alcohol. Okay, the next step is to take the little push rod and disassemble it from the rubber boot. Now that's very simple, you just gotta pull. And as you can see, it comes off. I'm also going to clean this rod a little bit. Okay, that's clean enough. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to take the rubber boot out of the rebuild kit. And I'm going to lubricate this just to get it to slide a bit easier into the rubber boot. What I'm using for that is grease for rebuilding brake calipers. So I'm going to get just a tiny bit and just lightly dab the top so it goes in easier. And now you just need a little bit of force. Yes. What I'm going to do now is get the rubber boot out of the rebuild kit, and I'm going to use some brake caliper rebuild lubricant and dab the bottom just a tiny bit, as you can see, and then I'm going to push it in through the boot. It's going to stop here, as you can see, but it doesn't really work first time always, so it takes a bit of patience and a bit of dexterity. There we go, it's through. I'll just push, and there you go. Rubber boot is on now. Now the assembly of this part is pretty straightforward. You get the spring, and you get your piston. As you can see, the piston is brand new. These O-rings should also be dabbed just a bit with the same lubricant. Now you can take the little spring and attach the narrow end to the bottom of the piston. Make sure it's all the way through. And now you need a bit of force to push it back into the cylinder. There you go. And the last step is to attach the rubber boot and the rod. Okay, there you go. One fully rebuilt clutch side cylinder.